Get ready for a loving retrospective, a nostalgic throwback, and let's be honest, just a big celebration because this is it. This is 100 episodes of that song from that movie. One.
100.
Thank you for joining that song from that movie, the 100th journey through the very best and worst of movie songs. I am your Centurion host, Dietrich, and as always joining us is the man itching to mention the Caravan Club for the 100th time, Alex.
How many of your songs have been performed at the Caravan, Alex?
Yeah, well, this is it. I don't know if it's going to spoil it, but actually none of them. I don't think any of these are Caravan classics. We actually obviously did cover a few, but...
Is that like the knockoff of Clubland Classics? Caravan Classics?
I would say that Clubland Classics is the knockoff of Caravan Classics.
Well, seeing as none of your top 5 are going to have a Caravan Classic, and it's 100 episodes, should I just play the Caravan jingle now?
Go.
Yes.
Go.
It's a Caravan Classic!
The budget was well spent.
I enjoyed that a lot.
And completing the lineup is the man who's always keeping it 100 for real, no cap, Ben.
Straight bussing. And various other things children say.
I keep telling people that that's Jay-Z lingo, Gen Z lingo, and everyone's always like, no, it's not. Never heard that
Well, if
before,
you keep
ever.
saying it's Jay-Z lingo, then I think you might.
So I think you two have been trolling me.
Yeah.
What, by saying straight bussing, no cap?
Yeah.
That's a Pepe laugh
People
right there.
don't agree.
What people at home don't know is that Ben does this a lot, and I have to edit it out of most episodes. If you're thinking that Ben's referenced this before, that's only cherry-picked moments of when he's gone full Gen Z.
XQCL. See, you don't even get those references.
Just making these up.
You don't know what you don't know what it means, do you? See, I am just
No.
I am a worldie. I am every generation.
Nobody does.
Big yikes that.
Big yikes. For God's sake.
Like, Alex, do you have Riz?
Yes.
Yeah, fair. I agree.
So here we are, episode 100 of that song from that movie. So instead of our usual episode of a movie and its accompanying songs, we're instead casting our eyes back over the previous 99 episodes, and each of us have put together our personal top 5 songs. Essentially, this is a little bit of a retrospective, so grab a cuppa, maybe treat yourself to like a pastry or something, and let's look back at 100 episodes of that song from that movie together. Guys, have you got your list ready?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's locked in. It's ironclad. It has changed no more. Wait. Now it's changed no more.
It's called an audible. There you go.
It's calling it, yeah, Mulligan.
Yeah, I put together my list, then changed my mind, and then at the last second put it back to how it was.
Good.
How this will work then is we'll go around in a circle revealing our picks, starting with all of our 5s, then all of our 4s, and so on until we all reveal our number 1 song that we've covered.
I'm really intrigued into what we pick here.
Just to explain my top 5, vibes. It's all on vibes.
You've always been a vibes guy, D. You've always been a vibes guy.
I have been a vibes guy because it's a get out from having any like actual meaning behind it. It's just I can just say vibes.
That's wise. Wise vibes, that. Because I've kind of got a second list, which is essentially vibes. And those were the ones I didn't have in my top 5, but I wanted to give an additional mention to at the end. So that's the vibes list. I've saved my vibes list for the end. Okay,
so that's if you were feeling a bit more fun and fancy free list, but you're keeping your sort of heavy Roger Ebert, critically acclaimed list.
Always. That's the main list, yeah.
That's the main list.
So without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, I'm interested in what crossover is going to be.
My number 5 is Chad Kroger's Hero, featuring Josie Scott from Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm coming out of the gates quite hot here. We all love this song, or at least we all claim to, because I did go back to the episode and listen to it.
Damn you, did.
It's an amazing rock anthem and a song which I think really encapsulates that very, very early noughties rock sound. But what this song really is a heads up for you guys that as it really does set the vibe for my list as being air-grabbing good times.
It's a squinted face kind of looking slightly down at yourself and through, like, your body's got to be slightly shaking as you do the, I'm so high.
I am glad that you gave Josie Scott a mention there, though, D.
You have to, right?
So many people forget.
He's featured in all our lives at some point.
Yeah. Always respect the Josie Scott.
Always respect the Josie Scott. Not a catchphrase that's been common
Get
in
it
our...
trending.
Yeah.
It's what he deserves.
Okay. Of all of the 99 films we've covered, so there's more songs in that, that is a surprise.
I was not expecting anyone to say Hero.
I was not expecting that. I would agree that is a song, but I do think that's surprising.
Okay.
Because it should be number one.
Ah, fair.
Yeah, so we're going to take a tonal shift here, quite dramatic tonal
I literally
shift.
got the critically acclaimed list.
Yeah, so I went for Visions of Gideon from Call Me By Your Name, which is
Could
quite
there ever be a
dramatic
tonal shift, a greater tonal shift?
You know, Dee said his piece about this film. My memory of it was that he wasn't that enamoured by it. But say what you want about the film itself.
And I will.
And we did a lot in that episode. I think the scene, the song, and the scene is one of the most powerful musical scenes in recent cinematic memory, in my opinion.
Bold.
I think it's very, very affecting and very well shot and just finishes that film off perfectly. So it wasn't initially in my top 5. I did have more of a vibe entry into it. But I was like, I when I read it in the list, I was like, no, that's got to be in there. So yeah, and maybe even not in the main song from that film, but certainly the one that I take from it anyway. So yeah, but to be fair, that is the only modern song film in my list. So just as a warning there.
Interesting.
If we'd have done a thing where we had to write down one guess of somebody else's pick, for you, I would have probably picked this song. I was like, he's going to have it in his top 5.
Fair enough. Yeah, but like I say, it was a last minute addition. I was more vibes before, but no, less vibes. More Visions of Gideon.
Interesting gig so far. You know, you start off with a bit of Josie Scott, warming up the crowd. Nickelback come out, you know, play the hits. And then Sufjan Stevens comes and we all leave depressed.
You raise a good point, Ben. We should make this into a 15-song playlist on our Spotify.
We absolutely should.
But we've got to fully find the ebbs and flows in it. We can't just launch straight in with Hero followed by Visions of Gideon.
Oh no, we can.
People are going to be tuning.
Does that
out.
not summarise the podcast perfectly?
Well,
Yeah.
probably. I mean, it's summarising both of you two so far and how this works.
Messy.
Come on then, Ben.
Okay.
Finishes off.
Well, I mean, mine's a bit more, I think, straightforward at the moment. So my 5 is You've Got a Friend in Me by our lovely friend Randy Newman, a staple of this podcast.
The original.
The original, yes, and one of the greatest movie songs of one of the greatest trilogies of all time. And we'll say no more. Plus, how can we not mention? I'm hoping I'm now at the point in life when they're talking about Toy Story 5 and thinking, actually, you know what? Make 5 and then make 6, and I can say that I like the original trilogy and not the new the new trilogy, and that's how I'm gonna go with it. Just like you can do with Star Wars.
I was going to say you sound very like boomer Star Wars.
Well, that's what it is, because you know this starts it off so well. When those opening credits come on, one of the greatest franchises ever. You know, I'll admit that. It's such an iconic song, and sets the tone fantastically
100%.
for Toy Story. So that's in my number 5.
And it set the tone for this podcast, of course.
Absolutely, it was I think it was one of our first episode, was it?
It was the first episode.
Yeah, it was
the first one released.
First one
Yes.
released, yes.
Let's
yes.
not
The
talk about 8
the
Mile.
first episode we recorded was 8 Mile, which you can listen to our Patreon, and it's bad.
See how far we have come.
Well, I listened to the first episode earlier, and I was like, God, we have got better.
Which
have
definitely got better.
It may be shocking to some people because maybe we're not that great still. But
It'll shock some
go
people
back
that we were once worse.
could have been worse.
I like the idea that this is somebody's first ever episode of this podcast.
Yeah.
They wanted a summary before they knew what they were getting.
It's like if somebody watched a clip show of Friends as their first episode.
I like that.
Right, should we move on to our 4s?
Yeah, let's go for it. Go on, Dip.
Right, let's get down to business, because number 4 on my list is Let's Get Down to Business from Mulan.
Okay, yeah.
Amazing.
Another classic.
You're making me think, D. You're making me think. That's all I'll say.
I think what I said about this song at the time, didn't go back and listen to it, so I just remembered. I think I said that Let's Get Down to Business was, at the point of when we recorded, like the coolest song that we'd ever covered. And I don't think there's that many songs we've covered since that quite match the sort of like vibe. Again, vibe. Everything about my list is vibes. It's a great song, and
Oh, yeah.
Unlike a lot of the things on my list, I suppose, it does have a good scene to go with it. So it has extra, that song from that movie, credentials.
We do love a montage, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alex, I feel like you're probably maybe the most au fait person with the long-haired lover from Liverpool, but has Donny Osmond ever been cool?
No.
There we
What
go.
about Crazy Horses?
That's probably about as close as it got.
But it's still not cool.
What about Let's Get
Still
Down
not
to
cool.
Business from Mulan?
No, yeah, there you go.
Alex, how much Riz did Donny Osmond have?
Probably like 90%. I don't know what I'm working
No,
with.
actually, you know what? 90% Riz. That sounds accurate. I think Donny Osmond was loading up that Riz.
Yeah, Donny Rismond. That's what they called him.
Donny Rismond.
Come on.
Alex, you're 4.
So I'm a bit gutted that I forgot we covered Mulan. I didn't really consider any of
He's
Disney
done it
films.
already. He's done it already.
Yeah.
He's-
So I'm already disappointed that I missed out on Let's Get Down to
Visions
Business,
of Gideon would have been pushed out.
but maybe. But my next film is animated. And I thought, what's more depressing than the final scene of Call Me By Your Name than the iconic scene from Watership Down with Bright Eyes?
Yeah.
Oof, rough.
Good. Yeah, very rough.
Mine just gets worse and worse. I'm sorry. It's all if these is all positive vibes, mine is all bathtubs and razor blades, I'm afraid. My favourite thing about this that I remembered about researching this episode was that this came from an album by Art Garfunkel called Fate for Breakfast.
It's not the thing you want to wake up to.
Hey, it's the inevitable thing you wake up to, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. After me cornflakes, I think.
No, it's with your cornflakes, Ben.
Is it not? Pouring my own
Are you not
cornflakes?
fated to have cornflakes for
I
breakfast?
forgot. Yeah, is that the green topped Fate or is that red topped Fate?
I mean, for me, it's neither. It's the oat milk.
Yeah, oated Fate. I'm fully skimmed Fate.
But yeah, I just this song always sticks with me. It's on all my playlists. It hits you right in the feels, and the scene. I think all of mine kind of are very integral to the film and have a very vivid scene within them. And this one is just one that I really remember. So it's in the list, and it gets slightly better for the next couple of songs, but they're all kind of on a depressive, I'm afraid.
You okay, Alex?
Okay, we are definitely going in different directions here.
Hey, but it'll add some texture to the playlist.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We can't be all smooth sailing. We've got to have a few ridges.
That's obviously how I was feeling today when I wrote the list.
Yeah,
I like
I
that I
was about
wrote
to
a vibes list. I was like, discarded it. No, it's not on for you.
It's very Edgar Allan Poe of like, I'm going to note down happiness just so I can discard it.
The faded memories of Lenore. Exactly.
Yeah. Quoth.
Ben?
It's me. Yeah. See, I'm going epic now. We talked about head grabbing, fist pumping. I'm pulling it all out here. I'm going I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. It has no right for a film as shit as Armageddon to have a song like this. It's one of our legendary Diane Warren Stone Cold classics.
Would you like me to play the jingle?
Got to play the jingle.
Diane Warren.
We don't know if she'll feature again, so she's got to get a mention. Yeah, I just feel like it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You can listen to it by yourself. You can listen to it at a pie. It's a karaoke classic. Stick it on while you're cooking. It has so much behind it. Gave Aerosmith an actual reason to exist in the sort of the late 90s, early 90s. I just think it's an absolute classic and probably a universal classic.
It's hard to disagree with that. And you know what? Actually, it was our first introduction to Diane Warren. It was the first Diane
Was it
Warren
really?
episode.
Yeah, it will be.
Wow.
won't it?
Been all downhill from there.
Yeah. I mean, can I mention if a song is on my vibe list? Because this was on my vibe list.
Yeah, it's good. So this is in the bin then, Alex, is what you're saying?
Well, it was on my vibe list simply because it was the first introduction to Diane Warren. But this was the one that was in my top 5 that I moved out.
She does follow us, remember, on Twitter. So we've got to keep that going.
She's a ledge.
She is an absolute legend.
Still doesn't have the Oscar though.
Still doesn't. Well, she's got an honorary one, hasn't she?
Yeah, we got that for her.
I mean, Diane, I know you're listening. You got your cup of char there with you. I know you got bags full of Riz, but the stuff you've been putting out recently, it ain't good. It ain't good.
But we still believe in you. You can do it.
Yeah, wait for Armageddon 2.
You don't lose the ability to write a song like I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. You just need to get the right pieces together.
Yeah, just looks. Maybe she'll write the next song for Gladiator 2.
Ooh, that's quite a good film pick for her.
I don't know. It depends on the vibes of Gladiator 2. It's a big shift from Enya.
We move on to threes.
That's the race. Go on.
Let me just get this jingle ready, because number 3 on my list is also a Diane Warren classic.
Oh my god.
Diane Warren.
It's Can't Fight the Moonlight by Leanne Rimes and Coyote Ugly.
We've not had a double yet.
No. So Diane Warren storms to number 3 in the list. And this is probably the first time that on our playlist where the vibe from one song to the next one will work quite well. Because this is a quintessential That Song from That Movie banger. Yeah, the movie, not great. Music video has, let's say, icky age-related issues. But when I'm driving along and this song comes on and I hear that opening fanfare, as in the dun-dun, da-dun-dun.
Dun-dun.
Yeah, exactly. I forget all about the movie's quality and the music video implications and stuff like that. And I just sing my heart out for 3.5 mins. And my vibe list is about vibes, and this has a great vibe. Even if it had to have a shitty movie to inspire it, so be it.
Yeah. I thought you were saying like the good follow-on, because I don't want to miss a thing. Armageddon, going up to space, Can't Fight the Moonlight, moon, space.
Works on so many levels.
Just 4D chess, but 4D backgammon. I'm starting to think that what's coming up is gonna start. It could actually be like the quintessential That Song from That Movie, best of the 100, because we've not had a double.
Yeah,
it is an absolute classic though. Can't Fight the Moonlight. It is an absolute classic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can take that. I can definitely take that.
Alex,
it's nice to get a couple of Diane Warren songs in there, because she does not feature in my list.
The vibe list is in the bin.
I know, sacrilege, but there you go. So yeah, slightly less depressing than the last song. But, it's kind of more hints of like lost history, nostalgia vibes. So I've gone for As Time Goes By from Casablanca, just simply because it's probably the most iconic song we've covered from a film, but still has a very prominent place within the film. And it's not a musical itself, it just has this kind of one song that features throughout. And I don't know, just very powerful in the way that it's used and the way it kind of reflects the deep, kind of like the deep nuances of the actual story and the relationships between the characters. I just think it does a perfect job of that. So it may not have been, I can't remember actually the episode too much, because I think it was quite a while ago now, maybe a year, 2 years ago.
More than that, I think.
But, more than that.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
yeah.
But as a song from a film, I think it's hard to beat, personally. So that's what's in there.
Silver Screen Classic.
Yeah, because the songs that are on my vibes list were more for the actual episode itself, whereas the songs I've chosen for my top 5 are just like the songs that I think are the best songs from films that we've covered.
Yeah.
So
it has to be one of the great songs of a period. I think like we often do a lot of odes to pop culture and a lot of great pop culture references and from songs that still are quite popular in zeitgeist, whereas that is like it's a cinephile classic, isn't it? It's like if you love films, you love that song. It's like it's one of those up there, like something from Wizard of Oz or something like that. It's like that. It's like movie history.
Exactly.
Is it my turn now?
Yep,
Sure
go for
is.
it.
See, I'm bookending this. We covered Toy Story, and I had to put it in just because of the impact it's had. I'm sticking in Under Pressure from Aftersun. I have to stick it in. I just first of all, Under Pressure, David Bowie, Queen, classic British iconic song.
Great song.
And just how a song is used and changed to mean something completely different in a film that packs such an emotional punch. A film that is very, low budget handheld camera for a lot of it, to jump into a surreal, nightmarish, rotoscopic hellscape at points. Just the emotion and how it isolates some of those lyrics that I've never, for the hundreds of times I've listened to this song in multiple different situations, from just listening to it myself on my headphones, to weddings, again to karaoke, and then just some of the raw power that can be through some of those lyrics, like "Can we give this one more chance" and things like that. And it's, oh my god, absolutely devastating. I know it's not that long ago, and it may wane over time, but I just think that's how you do movie songs in a time where it's becoming relegated to the credits.
I agree. I put it to you that Alex came up with this concept of doing top 5s before we decided we were going to do Aftersun. Did you make us do Aftersun so you could include it in your top 5?
I'm always thinking, D, 6D backgammon, you know me.
Yep, exactly. This is why I thought it was a classic Ben move. It's a brilliant song. I think I said in the episode that like it's a prerequisite of being British to like Queen and David Bowie. So like obviously we love it.
Yeah, and like I think it was Mark Commode said it in his review. Like it should not work, and it does on so many levels. Like you know, taking a classic like that and using it in a completely different context to how it would normally be seen is bold, is risky, and like at the crescendo of the film, and it's absolute payoff.
100%.
I think if Dee knew I was going to do Visions of Gideon, I was like, Ben's going to pick Under Pressure.
You all know me so well, guys.
Well, I did consider it. I was like, it was so impactful. But I was like, I kind of went on. We recorded it too recently.
Oh, you're afraid of recency bias.
Boo.
I was afraid of recency bias. So
yeah, so you have to go into the 1940s.
So you picked Mutt from American Pie.
If Mutt comes up to you, fuck's sake.
If there was one song I knew wouldn't feature in this episode, it was that one.
Mutt.
And then yet again, you have mentioned
Or anyone's list, even listeners' lists.
even best songs from American Pie.
Yeah.
Cool. D2. Bold now silver.
Number 2.
Let's do it. So just missing out on my first place is open brackets, Everything I Do, close brackets, I Do It For You by Bryan Adams from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
A great man once referred to this song as one of the great big movie songs, that man being our own Ben. And that's exactly why it's so high on my list. It is one of the all-time great big movie songs. I would say it's the second best all-time great big movie song that we've covered, because it's not number one. And it was number one in the UK for like 8 years or something. So like it can sit at number 2 for a while.
Yeah, 16 weeks. It does have that sometimes, doesn't it? Like, is it overplayed? It was one of those.
Yeah, and also Brian,
exactly.
if you're listening, and I know you are listening, put the goddamn movie version of this song on YouTube. Nobody cares about your album version.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, we have lost that to time, to Kiss or MTV Rock or something. Yeah, to porn. Yeah, I forgot it was on porn.
It was on a porn site.
It was on a porn site.
It really should have bumped up to number 1, really,
dive.
now I think about it, but too late.
It really should have done. That is an internet legend thing. The only way to watch the best version of Bryan Adams' Everything I Do It For You is to go on porn sites. Fantastic. Alex, I'm assuming porn sites won't feature on your themes.
Not that well. Interesting. Not quite porn sites, but certainly
Cowboy.
the world of male prostitutes.
Nice.
Everybody's talking from Midnight Cowboy was my number 2.
Yep,
Again,
yep.
similar vibes to the rest of my list.
I was going to say
it's
I never really considered how similar a vibe that is to the end of, say, Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah. I guess as well that the interesting thing about this song is it bookends the film, doesn't it? It's used at the very beginning and the very end.
Yes.
Probably the lightest song on my list in some ways, but then when you combine it with the horrifying ending of this film and how like emotionally wrecked you are, it's still on a depressing vibe. So yeah, very much showing my mental state when I was making this list.
I think our challenge for our next 100 films is to only pick absolute sort of modern mainstream trash.
We're just going to do Sing and Despicable Me non-stop for 100 episodes.
Oh God, yeah, just Sing. We could do Sing like 30 times, yeah. Alex, you're going to have to put Pharrell's Happy in every single position.
Oh my God. I think that would be the end of my time on this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, similar reasons for the rest of the songs. I think the use of it within the film is quite incredible. And I think what I like so much about this one is just how the song reflects 2 moods within the same film and so perfectly and powerfully. And it wasn't even intended, I think from memory when we had the discussion about this song, to be in the film initially. It was added quite as a last minute thing. So I think it's one of the best songs from a film ever, and one from one of the best films ever as well.
You two could make a genuine odd couple, couldn't you, with these songs?
Well, it's funny because if we were continue, like I was going to say before, continuing the theme of songs I knew would be in someone's list, Bryan Adams and Dietrich's list was an absolute given.
Yeah.
An absolute given.
In fairness, Alex did commute with me to work for like years and heard my playlist many, many times.
Yes. Still no repeats, though. Still no repeats.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Is there going to repeat now, Ben?
There is not. There is not.
Ooh.
I debated for a while of whether this should be number one, but it's locked in here. I'm going My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. I've been going through a few of those. I think it was earlier. I think it was yesterday. In some of the interviews with Celine Dion, talking about the condition she's got now and just how impactful that is. And I went back and listened to the video version, which is more her sort of spliced with scenes from Titanic. Her voice is just absolutely incredible. It's such a travesty that she can't sing anymore, in the way that she could. And again, it's one of those films that you can mock Titanic so easily. And I think I do that, and I think, Titanic, it's just a sort of a romantic tragedy fest, and the second half is just basically people, dying for an hour and a half. But you watch it, and it's such an incredible film, though. It's such an incredible film, done masterfully. All the qualities and aspects of what makes a fantastic blockbuster is in it, and the film works so well in it. As a leitmotif, just as a piece of music that plays through the background in a lot of the film. And her version, Celine Dion's voice, is just absolute movie magic. We covered this quite early on in our tenure, and it was one of those, we have to get this out of the way because it's such a big, iconic movie song.
100%.
You can't leave it in the wings.
Yeah, I think it was our second episode released, if my memory serves.
It's definitely one
of the first. Is it telling that I just looked at the first episodes we did and last?
It's all been downhill since those first 5 episodes.
Didn't have a lot of time, yeah. You almost lost me, guys.
Yeah, again, Mutt from American Pie ruined it for you.
Yeah, that's it. I've dissociated from those.
I mean, I am happy because someone managed to get a Caravan Classic in the playlist.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there is a Caravan Classic.
Caravan Classic. Beep, beep.
Cool. Right.
All right, we're here.
Before we do this, we're all getting a sense of each other's personalities. I want to know if anyone can wager on whose number ones is whose.
Ooh.
Can anyone think of what... Dee, could you ever think of what Alex's number one could be?
Yeah,
there's a theme coming from Alex's.
There is. Just to clarify, I know we've done 2 episodes with novelty songs where they're not really songs. Would you have included those? Because if they do, then Alex might have put On Your Head Son from Mike Bassett.
That would have been a vibe check.
I would have included it, but I did not pick it. No. What's the other novelty song? The song from Role Models.
From Role Models, yeah.
That's what Dee picked, obviously.
No, I mean, I'm wondering if a James Bond song could sneak in there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if a James Bond song could sneak in there with Alex's. He does love a James Bond song.
I know what Ben's picked 100%.
Do you actually? That's interesting.
No.
If you're having a slight joke in there, it's definitely written down on my sheet, but I felt like I couldn't do it.
I think I know what Alex's is.
Go on.
Okay.
So based on Alex's list and knowing Alex, based on that, I think it's the song from Toy Story 2, When She Loved Me.
Okay, what, the Sarah McLachlan one?
Yeah, the Sarah McLachlan one.
I feel like either of you could have picked that song from Toy Story 4 just to mess with me.
Just a mess.
Alex has just heard it so many times that it's like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, the Forky song. That Forky song.
I can't let you.
I can't let you throw yourself away.
Yeah, I'm wondering... Yeah, I'm still thinking, I don't know, growing up, going around to Alex's house and having that massive James Bond video collection on your shelf, it just makes me think, could one have sneaked in there? Some of our greatest work, I feel like, with us on those Bond episodes.
Yeah, we really should finish that at some point.
Yeah.
Did we not finish it?
No, we got to Quantum of Solace and just stopped.
Okay, Dee, come on then.
Right.
Round us off.
Well, I thought mine was going to be incredibly easy to guess, but neither of you said it.
Well, I think I do know what it is.
Oh, go on then.
I think I do.
Go on.
My guess is that it's something from Back to the Future, probably The Power of Love.
Oh, okay.
I see. Yeah. The only song I thought I was thinking maybe Kiss from a Rose, because there's a Community reference in there as well.
Okay. Well, you're both wrong.
Damn.
And it's really obvious, really. It's Black Suit's Coming, Nod Your Head by Will Smith and Fran Knox on Men in Black 2.
Obvious.
Come on.
How is that the best song of 100?
It was never in doubt for me.
Oh, that's it. I should have forgot.
Before I even started looking through the list of songs that we've covered, I literally just wrote that down, one, Black Suit's Coming, and just moved on, because I knew it was going to be number one. Never wavered.
Oh, dear.
I declared it during the episode, and we've done 60 episodes since, and I've not changed my stance. I declared that it was the all-time great movie song. Even today, I listened to it again, and I got goosebumps listening to it. There's a sheer wall of sound aspect to it. that it just hits me every time I listen to it. And there's not many songs that have that effect on me, especially so with the outro when you have like, there's like a guitar, there's an orchestra, there's synth, there's Will Smith yapping. It just gets me every time. I simply love this song.
Fair. I would say that's XQCL, but that's fair.
If I knew what that meant, I would be offended or would agree.
Well, you might not get it, but your kids are going to love it.
But I did expect one of you two to guess my number one, seeing as
I can't believe I didn't.
I've been pretty full-chested with saying it's the best song.
Okay, Alex, any guesses?
Well, I went with When She Loved Me from Toy Story 2.
Yeah. I forget what Alex's favourite Bond song was if I was going to guess one. I can't remember what it was.
Whatever the Tom Jones one was.
It was not that one.
Spy Love Me or View to a Kill?
No, my favourite Bond song was You Only Live Twice, which was Nancy Sinatra, but
yeah.
it's not on the list. I did think about it as a callback to the Bond episodes, just so we could talk about John Barry, but alas, no. Do you want me to reveal?
Go for it.
Go.
So, interestingly, this song is not the song that people know from this film. It's similar to Visions of Gideon, but it is my favourite use of a song in a film, and it's just a classic song, and it's The Sound of Silence from The Graduate.
Yeah, see, I wondered if that'd come up.
Yeah, so I think the opening scene to The Graduate is probably one of the best film scenes ever, and the use of this song in that film is just absolutely perfect. Every time I always think, because I always think, like, whenever I tell anybody that I have this podcast, the automatic question that someone would ask is, well, what is the best song from a film? And this is one of the ones that always comes to mind for me, just because I love the use of it in this film. And that's kind of what the approach of, like I've said, I've taken with all of these songs, is how they are applied within the song, and does that song elevate the film, or is it just part of a wider thing? And I think that this song in particular, whereas Mrs. Robinson, the film that is obviously possibly most associated with it, doesn't really add that much to the film itself, especially its usage, whereas this one just absolutely does, and just sets the entire tone and vibe of the film. So, but there were a lot that I considered putting in the list. I think we've covered so many great songs, and like the ones that you guys,
definitely on my list,
even the ones that Dee's mentioned. Well, honestly, genuinely, the song from Mulan, I was like, oh god, that really should have been in everybody's list of greatest movie songs.
It really should have been.
This was the one that jumped straight out to me as being the best, so that's why I put it. I just put it at the top, like as Dee did with Black Suits Coming. I put this one straight to the top and just didn't think about changing it. So
yeah, it's an amazing song, and like I said, that opening bit of The Graduate is brilliant. I'm a fan of like opening credits and stuff like that.
That's what I know more about you than anything, Dee. The man loves an opening credits
and novelty songs from Men in Black films.
It's a small Venn diagram.
It's just me and Will Smith himself.
The Hit Bad Boys Ride or Die has been doing pretty well at the box.
That's because nothing else is out.
It has, yeah, and I think it's got some decent reviews.
It's the only film that's out of the cinema because they dropped Furiosa after 20 minutes.
Well, yeah.
I didn't even get to see it.
It was all right.
Anyway, that's by the by. Let's hear Ben's number one.
Yep. Any guesses?
Any guesses?
I'm Ben.
I don't know if Ben's gone like super serious. I mean, obviously, the one that springs to mind is Deepest Bluest. Open brackets.
If I was playing it, there was definitely an opportunity to make a joke that Deepest Bluest, because I think, no word of a lie, if we had to say what is the best episode we've ever done, it would be a toss up between the Mulan episode and Deepest Bluest. I think
I'd throw Mike Bassett in there.
Mike Bassett was a good chat.
The one that nobody's listened to.
Yeah, but that was pure sort of energy.
And we didn't even have notes. Like, we forgot to do them, so we just completely did it on the fly.
Isn't Deepest Bluest one of our sort of like best performing episodes at one point?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like that and the Grinch episode.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a good point, actually. Once we finish this, I'll say what the top 5 all-time episodes are, and we can get the songs from those too.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, go on, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's go to your number one. I can't figure out what yours would be.
Oh, I know what Ben's is. It's Every Time from Spring Breakers.
Oh, if it was scene from that song from that movie, it would be that.
Yeah. Also, just a song from our lives that is very important, because at the moment we saw that in the cinema, and our friend just burst out laughing. I think I will take that moment to my grave. That is a little art house cinema in Leeds, watching Spring Breakers, me building it up to be this sort of cultural behemoth, critically acclaimed, and it was something. It was something.
You could have stopped that sentence right there.
My number one is a song that's already been.
Oh, we have our first repeat.
Is it?
You also went Black Suits Coming.
It's got to be as
It's
time
not.
goes by, sure.
Yeah, it is as time goes by. Yeah, it is as time goes by. For the same reasons I've already said. I just think it's, as it would be on the AFI, it's one of the great seminal movies. It's one of the great seminal movie songs. Casablanca is probably, if you were to get into film, you have to watch it, enjoy it, study it, learn from it. Everything that's come from and since, how it represents the film noir, the post-war film, that period of American cinema, and Dooley Wilson's voice. I think if you, depending on your mood, you can take different things from it. I think it can be quite somber, nostalgic, reminiscent. It can be quite melancholic. It can be heartbreaking. I just think it's an absolutely fantastic song. And I love the scene around it. And we've talked about like the Mandela effect of how, I just love how it's, even now I still write it down wrong sometimes. And even, Alex, you once introduced me to a podcast, I remember, that always had this as the opening theme, and I always sing that version as well. You must remember this. Yeah. But I just think it's an absolutely incredible song, and it has to be there. And I think simply because it was on 2 lists, it should be that song from that movie, greatest song of our 99 episodes.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song.
Yeah,
we've done best song. Movie
If we scored these and aggregated them, it would have to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've done best song, we've done movie or song using this format for our entire run, and I'm not going to change it now. It's a worthy winner.
Crazy that we picked 15 songs with only one song that featured on 2 lists. That's
pretty good going.
Wild. That is
busted.
I don't know.
It's Alex is bussing. It is, but absolutely. Alex, you bring a tear to my eye.
We did it. We actually did it. 100 episodes of that song from that movie.
Have no fears, we've got songs for years.
Like,
yeah, we need to go back to the drawing board.
Wizard of Oz, because you've already mentioned it.
Well, we definitely, we need to do Wizard of Oz since it's probably.
Is there a song in Men in Black International?
I don't know. Toy Story 5 will be out soon.
Well, as we mentioned, what I'll do now, I'll tell you what the top 5, just in terms of plays, not necessarily reviews. 5th place was Everything is Awesome from the Lego movie.
Interesting.
Wow.
4th was Deo, the Banana Boat song from Beetlejuice.
From Beetlejuice.
How interesting.
3rd was Walking in the Air from The Snowman.
Christmas
Really?
Always does well.
2nd was, and it would be a repeat, My Heart Will Go On from Titanic.
Should be.
And number 1, by like a huge difference, it's like 4 times as much as 2nd place, is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
How funny.
That is so...
Christmas, it does well.
Yeah, I kind of think that the episodes that have done well are the ones where they're not the songs of something, where people might be searching them on, say, Spotify, and go, oh, this is the song, when it's not the song. It's us talking about the song for 45 minutes.
Yeah, got you.
It all counts.
Well, they've listened to it.
But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? There was a close sort of, at one point, I did have all my top 5 were just the songs from South Park.
Well, South Park is 6th.
But isn't South Park the one where we've got loads of fans in Ecuador that listen to South Park?
Yeah, it was something like, was it Ecuador? Was it?
But the La Resistance, I don't know. I've got many memories of singing it in the playground in Year 6 with you, Alex. It taught me so many things.
Yeah, because I kind of stayed away from the soundtrack episodes.
Yeah, I tried to stick to them once.
I did originally have All Star from Shrek in my list, and that
what a vibe shift.
That was on my vibes list.
What a vibe shift.
Absolutely. To be honest, we've actually discussed all of the songs on my vibes list except that one and Murder on the Dance Floor from Saltburn. And the reason I put that in there was because I think it was one of our best episodes.
That was a very good episode.
Yeah, Saltburn was a good one.
The honourable mentions on my list were I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which obviously we mentioned, Kiss from a Rose, and similar to you guys, where it was like I picked a Bond song because I felt like I had to. I just picked You Know My Name, and honestly, I could have dropped that any moment.
Yeah, I picked Spy Love Me as well, the same, and I was kind of floating it around for a bit. But and to be fair, I also had There Will Be Miracles at one point, floating at 5.
I should have put the other song from Prince of Egypt in there.
Yeah, I considered it.
There can be miracles.
Bollocks, what's it called?
Through Heaven's Eyes. Not that one.
I can't remember another song from that. I can't remember anything other than There Can Be Miracles.
Yeah, there's Heaven's Eyes. There's the song in the middle, which is really epic, isn't
The Plagues.
it?
The Plagues.
Plagues.
Yeah, that was the song I should have put on my list.
Oh, man.
There's so many good. I did consider putting Montage in from Swiss Army Man, just from how good that scene is.
That scene is amazing.
When you said that, then I was like, have we done Team America?
No, we haven't.
I don't think we have it.
No, interesting songs to cover.
That's probably why we've not done it.
Probably why we've not done it, essentially. Well, I mean, we did South Park, so...
Any closing thoughts? Capping 100 episodes?
I am overloaded with memories of discussing them, and both of these films as well, and it's been an absolute lovely ride.
Can I say a song that I was absolutely shocked did not feature in your list? I had it down, definitely feature.
Go on.
Thunderbirds.
Should it have been in my honourable mentions? Maybe. Would I put it above any in the top 5? Probably not. Maybe had they responded to me on Instagram when I reached out to them, maybe that would have been different, but it's your fault, Matt Willis. I blame you.
You should.
For many things.
Speaking of which, we still have not done Ride the Storm by Simon Webbe.
We need to find another film with a Simon Webbe song in it so we can start rekindling that drive towards the ultimate podcast goal of having Simon Webbe on one episode.
Googling films featuring Simon Webbe songs does not come up with many hits.
Does it come up with Rise of the Silver Surfer?
No.
Well, check again, Ben.
That's worrying.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, it does. No, it does. Yep, no, it does. Got to number 49 in Ireland, that song.
Trying to think of any closing remarks for myself. I don't really have anything other than I've enjoyed doing this, and I hope we do another 100 episodes.
Here. Wonder if England would have won a major tournament by that point.
Then we'll do a Mike Bassett revisited.
Hopefully it will spawn various other films which will have some more Atomic Kitten songs in it.
Right, so that brings then to our 100th episode of That Song from That Movie. Let us know what you think the best song we've covered over the last 100 episodes is on one of our many, many social media platforms. Ben, what is our social media handle?
At TSFTMPod.
Thank you. So you can also help the podcast by sharing this on Reddit. I'm sure this will go down well with them. Alex, what random subreddit should everyone share it on this week?
God, let's have a see. Trying to think of any of the classic ones through time. Through the episodes. Hang on. Wilson Phillips.
Right, so you can also help the podcast by leaving us a 5-star review. And if somebody has left a 5-star review on any episode or the whole podcast over the last 100 episodes, thank you. You can also help us by signing up to our Patreon, buying our merch, or just telling your friends about the podcast. So all that's left now is to do some goodbyes. So it's goodbye from myself, goodbye, and goodbye from Alex.
I didn't prepare anything. Goodbye.
Oh, and goodbye from Ben.
It's goodbye from him. No, it doesn't work, does it?
So goodbye, everybody. Bye.
I thought that's quite good, to be fair, how bad it was.
I completely forgot that we do an outro.
Do we get a card from the king, by the way?
Do we?
Is that how it works?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
I thought that's what it does. When you reach 100.
I'll tag Buckingham Palace on the post and see if they send us anything. Celebrate.
Might be a bit busy pulling a Wallace mask off the picture of Prince Charles at the moment. Prince Charles, I can't get used to it. I just can't keep saying it weird.
King Prince Charles.
King Prince Charles. Skibbity.